Hey guys, in this video I'm doing my review of the Logitech G Pro X Superlight 2. I have this mouse for a few months now. I'm going to give you guys my review on this mouse and tell you if you should buy the Superlight 2 in 2025. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video. Please like and subscribe. But before I talk about this mouse, I want to say if I do mess up saying anything or by stuttering or whatnot, I do apologize. I'll try my best to correct myself if I do mess up saying anything. But yeah, without any further ado, let's get right into it. So this mouse released back in 2023, and it did release, it's like, oh, why does it look like a Superlight, the OG Superlight? Because it pretty much is identical as the original Superlight. One change is, or a couple, or like two changes is that one, USB-C. Wow. Two, this bottom skate right here looks different. Wow. Three, I think that's about it. But the performance is pretty decent. It has a Hero 2 sensor up to 44,000 DPI, 8,000 Hz polling rate, and whenever this mouse did release, it only had 2,000 Hz polling rate back in 2023, whenever other mice had like 4,000 Hz too, so that's one thing to note. The side buttons feel exactly the same as my original G Pro Wireless and my original Superlight. Scroll wheel feels exactly the same, even though it has a weird noise whenever I do scroll. The clicks are using their Light Force Cyber Optical switches made by Omron. They're not as they're not as light, I meant, as the Omron Opticals and other mice like the Lambs in my X, which I do not have, but I do have a Sora V2, and those are definitely lighter than this mouse, and it feels slightly better than the Superlight 2 switches. So let's see. So I know you guys are in comments say, "Oh my gosh, he's using the default stock skates on the Superlight 2," and guess what? Because I don't know what it is, whenever I use this mouse on my mouse pad that I have for how many months now, I don't remember how long I had this mouse pad for actually. That I have not changed my mouse pad in heavens knows how long, but whenever I use this mouse, you don't feel scratchy at all. Sorry, what was that voice crack? I don't know what that was. Whenever I use this mouse with socks, it's like, wow, the skates are actually pretty eh. I mean, I don't. They definitely do feel a little bit slower than like my Vibrate VC Pro skates and my Ultralight X stock skates. But they do not feel scratchy whatsoever. I know a lot of people hate these skates, but personally, I don't know what it is. I just aim. I still aim good with this mouse, even though I still do have the stock skates on this mouse. And I know a lot of people don't like the shape of this mouse, but personally, I had no issues with the shape of this mouse since I'm already used to the G Pro Wireless shape and the original Superlight shape, which is exactly the same as this one. So I already got used to this mouse whenever I got it. But this is actually not my first unit. I did have a other Superlight 2, but the clicks on that were like mushy, but and I stopped using the mouse, and whenever I was like, oh, you know, I just get a replacement, because I did get this mouse for like $80 on sale back, I don't remember how long ago. I think it was last year maybe that went on sale for, it was on this colorway that was like the the cheapest, so yeah, so whenever I got this, like, you know what, I'm just gonna try and see if this one is any better. And guess what it is? The clicks are way better, but that's the only change, that these clicks are much more tactile than the previous unit I did have. And same goes for my Ergo Superlight 2. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think these are heavier than my Superlight 2. Maybe it's because I use this one longer than this one. Yeah, I don't know if I should do a review on this mouse, since it's exactly the same, it's just a different shape. So yeah, so I probably won't be doing a review on this mouse, but because man, it's just the same, just with a different shape, different side button placement. That's really it about that mouse. So Everything I'll be saying is pretty much the same as this one, so, but we're not gonna be talking about this, so. What else to talk about? So, the side buttons exactly the same as my G Pro Wireless and my original Superlights. And I have no side flexing whatsoever. But it does have a thing where it sounds like it's popping right here. I mean, it does slightly flex right here, but you can hear more on this side, so. I was freaking clicking the buttons, bro. I don't know if the mic picked it up, but yeah, there's slight flexing right here. There's more flexing right there, and there's slight flexing right here. Actually, let me see if the mic pick this one up. Yeah. So I did have one key issue on this mouse, and that's just. I mean, all it happens like right here and right here, so don't know what it could be. But yeah, so I do have a slight QC issue. Which, I mean, I don't notice that in the game since I don't like do this with my mouse and like just push it against the desk. I mean, he honestly is going to be doing that, but like still, I don't think you should be doing that at all. But it's one thing to reconsider that might just have QC issue. Oh my god, I already said that like 3 times already. The coding is exactly the same as my G Pro Wireless and my original Superlights. I mean, it's a decent coding as well. So I guess the coding is pretty good, I guess. But what else to talk about? So the battery life is rated at 95 hours, which is pretty good, I guess. I mean, it's definitely better than the original Superlight battery life. I believe it's like 90, 95 hours of battery life. I think that's I don't, but like I don't know what polling rate that is. Maybe it could be 1,000 hertz or the lowest. I have no clue. But personally, I don't use 2,000, 4,000, 8,000 hertz. I mainly only use 1,000 hertz because honestly, I can't really notice the difference. But if you do crank up the polling rates on any of your gaming mice that do have 2,000, 4,000, 8,000 hertz polling rates, it's going to put more like stress on your CPU, and you would probably get less FPS depending on what game you play. So I think 1,000 hertz is still pretty good. People are saying I use 2,000, 4,000 hertz, but personally, as someone who's used like Ultralight 2 and Air50 at 500 hertz, I still cannot notice the difference. So yes, I I mainly would use this mouse at 1,000 hertz. And I know a lot of people also do not like the shape of the Superlight 2, but since I've used the G Pro Wireless and this original Superlight, I already got used to using this mouse. And I still do find it comfortable, but I know a lot of people say it's too safe for some people. And I totally understand that not every shape is suited for every single person whenever you buy a mouse. But as someone who's used like ergo mice, symmetrical mice, blah blah blah, I already got used to pretty much every mouse shape. I mean, I personally use ergo mice less since I aim better with shapes like this and like the final shape and like Razer my OP18K as well, which I already did a review on. I mean, I really don't. I mean, I'm not a big fan of OP18K shape, but personally, I did not get any hand cramps while using that mouse. Even like mice like the Arox 3, the G305, G309, but personally, I don't use this mice anyways. And what else is there? I think that's probably it about this mouse. But there, one thing is, should you buy this mouse in 2025, even though I believe it's on sale right now, or it's still $180. I'm gonna probably go ahead and say no. Mainly because Razer has the Razer Viper V3 Pro, right? It's lighter at like 54 grams, believe 55 grams on the white colorway. And personally, the skates on this mouse are way better, right? I know the sensor, I know a lot of people are saying, but the Viper V3 Pro doesn't have more DPI numbers than the Superlight 2. Honestly, you can't. Honestly, who is going to care about that? Because the only DPI I use is like 800, and the coating on this mouse I think is slightly better than the Superlight 2 coating. This is mid-stress coating. I think it's less grippier, even though it's a finger print magnet on the black colorway. That's why I didn't have any QC issues on this mouse. I know it's using raised strength optical switches or raised optical switches, which aren't as coarse and tactile as the Superlight 2, but honestly, I really don't care how they feel. And the side buttons are way better. And overall, I just aim better with this mouse than the Superlight 2. And I aim better with the Final Mouse Ultra X, even though it's like 39 grams. So should you buy the Superlight 2? I'm gonna go ahead and say no, since there's a lot of cheaper options, a lot of better options with better switches as well. And I just feel like whenever this mouse releases, like, it's just a better Superlight, but it just has a few different changes. And that's why I think, I mean, I'm sure a lot of pro players use it, but honestly, not everyone is going to be satisfied with the Superlight shape, even though I do like the shape and I do play good with this mouse. I think I should play better in game with the Razer Viper V3 Pro. Even my Ultra X as well. And yeah, so I don't think if they did make a lighter mouse with if they didn't make a lighter Superlight 2, but or a different shape and also lighter, and if I tried that mouse, I was like, you know what, that sounds better, because like I just don't really use this amount. I really just use the Razer Viper VC Pro more than the Superlight 2. But yeah, so if you're looking for a better mouse than the Superlight 2, I will recommend the Viper V3 Pro, and also maybe the Maya X, since that's a better shape than the original, the Superlight shape, and also it's lighter, has better switches than the Superlight 2, and better skates. Pretty much everything about the Maya X from Line 2 is better all across the board than the Superlight 2. Even though I haven't tried a mouse yet, but yeah, so that's it for the review. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you guys later.